Hey everybody, welcome. I actually started the show at 7. I did it on time, but I had it in private and I did not realize it. Did not realize it at all. So, hopefully, wait, let's see if you guys are in here. Are you guys in here first? Let's see that. Hold on, let me see if let me see. I'm looking on my phone to see that it is live. Did it go? Oh, it's maybe it's supposed to go at 7. It says okay. So there's somebody in here. So people can put something in the comments to let me know you guys are in here. I know you guys are on a delay. I don't know if I can see my own live. What's up? Okay. I can see one person in here. Okay, it says I'm live out there. All right, you guys are here. So what happened was I forgot to put it on public, and it was on private. So me and Paul were talking for easily 10 minutes before I realized what was going on. So we're starting the show now. So without further ado, first I want to hit my sponsor, even though I've done this part, but we're going to do it again. This is the last show of season 1, and this is definitely the way you do it. So let's thank my sponsor for this episode. So this episode is sponsored by Essential Royals. They're a ball python breeder. This is their second year breeding ball pythons. Had a great first year. It's a father and 2 sons breeding ball pythons. Go check out their Instagram. We're working on getting them a YouTube channel. We're definitely going to push them to that. But definitely go check out their Instagram. Thanks again for sponsoring this episode. There you go. Yes, thanks for sponsoring the episode. Greatly appreciate it. He's a good friend of mine that I've met through this community. He actually bought 2 snakes for me. I'm holding on to him till weather's good, but we're actually going to try to get him to start a YouTube channel because he's got some amazing stuff going on with his ball pythons, and I'm excited to see what he produces this coming season, his second season. Super excited, but thanks again for sponsoring this episode. So you guys are in the chat. Thank you for being here. Without further ado, let's bring on Paul, and hopefully we can get this right this time. All right, nice to see you again, Paul.
Yeah, hi Gershon, hi everybody.
Thank you for coming. I can see the numbers start to go up now, so it makes more sense. So before I tell you what happened, Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone and let them know what you breed and what animals you take care of.
Sure. So I'm based in the UK here in the New Forest. It's a beautiful part of the... If you ever come to visit the UK, please come and look us up, because we live near Southampton and Bournemouth, which is based in the south of the UK. So it's almost like the Florida of the United States. It's warm down here, the climate's beautiful, and we've been breeding snakes, myself 2 years, my son's been doing it 4, and his name is Jared, and my daughter Emily is joining us as part of the family. And you'll see in the introduction, thank you for sharing my introduction, because it has the whole family picture in there. You'll see my wife, my other 2 sons. Yeah, Adam.
I was gonna do the whole thing. I was like, "It's 3 minutes, Paul. It's 3 minutes."
That's my Blazer trailer, by the way, because my video is 20 minutes long. So that's.
I mean, it works perfectly.
Thank you. I'm glad that I'm glad you shared that, because I really appreciate it. It gives some good background. But yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are a family business, and I love that. That's an amazing aspect.
Well, my son got me into the hobby. I was scared of snakes 2 years ago. If you would have met me 2 years ago, I had a phobia for snakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, James, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. Jeremy, thanks for coming through. Petsko, I probably pronounced that wrong, but thanks for coming through. First time, appreciate you. 403 Fauna, thanks for coming through. Mark, appreciate you. Had fun on the live with you yesterday, Mark. Phil, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Eric's Morris Factory. I couldn't read for a second. Sorry. Thanks for coming through.
Do you want to blow my glasses?
So, yes, check out New Forest Morphs. Paul's a newer breeder going into your second year, correct?
Yeah,
I asked you that right when you were drinking water, dude.
Sorry, no. We've had two breeding seasons under our belt.
2 breeding seasons. Okay.
My son's had 3, and he's been keeping snakes for 4 years. He got me into the hobby. He came into the dining room and said, "Dad, come and meet my beautiful banana." He had a beautiful banana boy called Rango, who's scared me to death when I saw him, because I had this phobia about snakes, because in the forest there's the vipers and things. We've got snakes here in the forest that can bite you and they're venomous. So you kind of hear stories of people taking their dogs for a walk in the forest and losing their dog to a snake bite, and you think the last thing I want to do is get bitten by a snake. So of course I had this massive phobia. He brought it into the dining table and he said, "Dad, just stroke it. It's absolutely fine." I said, "No, just take it away. Please take it away." I mean, I had a really bad phobia for snakes.
Oh, wow.
And how I've overcome that is incredible. It's because my son and my daughter, Emily, both fell in love with them, and they kept on bringing them to all these little children. I think, my little grandchildren and my nieces and nephews were like petting them. I was thinking, come on, Dad, you got to get yourself here,
If they could do it, I could do this. I can't let them show me up.
So Rango came into my life, and he's the most gentle and most beautiful bull python I've ever met. He's so docile and just loved me to death. He could have puppy dog friendly. I mean, so my phobia, it was really, really frightening to start with, but after a while, I just overcame that phobia. And then when I overcame the phobia, a whole new world of bull pythons opened up to me, and I was just fell in love with them, and I couldn't get enough. So I started buying them with my daughter. My daughter has health issues. So Emily's 18 now, but when we were getting going, she was 15, 16. She spent 4 years in bed with mental health and physical health issues. And the snakes were healing her. So I decided to take her out, and we went to all the different reptile places, and we started buying snakes. So I treated her to a beautiful pied snake called Kylo, and she looked after it. She was getting out of bed, looking after it, nursing it. I saw that the healing power of these snakes, besides overcoming my own phobia and falling in love with them, I just saw so much healing power in these snakes. And I thought, these are wonderful animals that the world, have got no idea what they're missing.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
No, you're welcome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Top Moon Reptiles, thanks for coming through. So quick story. We started this live 10 minutes ago. Well, 30 minutes ago now. But I forgot to put it on public, and it was on private. So we were having a good conversation for 10 minutes, not realizing this wasn't broadcasting to other people. This was just for me and Paul, basically. I'm going to blame it on my little lack of sleep after working a 16-hour shift. So it was a mistake. That's how you know these things are live. So you won't see the natural intro we normally do on the show and stuff like that. But from now on, we're going to keep the show the normal way. Diego, I like the joke. Good joke. But we're gonna keep the show natural. But thank you guys for coming through. I had Jeremy text me. It was like, "Hey, isn't your show tonight?" Because I'm not seeing it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to Paul right now. What are you talking about?" So thank you, Jeremy, for messaging me, let me know we were in live. Oh, I've never done that, and it was wow. So now I know.
Gershon, it's good news because that's bonus footage for later.
Exactly. We will be posting that up as a blooper later on. I'll probably post it up tomorrow. But yeah, that was hilarious. It was hilarious. Oh, wow. So if you haven't already subscribed or follow on Instagram, New Forest Morphs, go check them out. Go hit that subscribe button. Go hit that follow button. Oh yeah, flexing it. Definitely go hit that follow button. You guys are working on TikTok as well, right?
Well, my daughter, I think if we do TikTok, my daughter will do that one because my son does the Instagram. I do Facebook and YouTube because with multimedia, there's so much. If we're not careful, we'll take over our lives. So
very true.
We're lucky enough to have family members that can take care of each area. So I think when we get there, I think Emily will be our TikTok lady because she's into that, short, punchy videos, whereas I'm into my educational style videos. So my videos are quite long. But I think on TikTok, you want them short and punchy. So she'll be good at that.
Yeah, short, catch people's interest real quick.
Yeah.
Patrick, thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, Patrick. Um, yeah, that's definitely TikTok is definitely short and simple, right to the point. Oh yeah, how's your son doing? I forgot to ask you that.
Yeah, so we've had a really interesting period because for the last 10 days, my son Jared, who's part of our community and part of the family and part of the New Forest Morphs setup, his son caught COVID about 2 weeks ago, and he's got a
Okay.
little baby boy. He's only 18 months, and he caught COVID, and it went to
Oh,
Mark. So his wife caught it, and then Jared caught it, and Emily, my daughter, spends all her time with them, and so she caught it. So they all had to isolate. And my wife
mm,
and I, Mandy, went down to visit my other daughter down in Cornwall the weekend they caught it. They went to a Christmas party and caught it from the Christmas party, I think. Whereas we were lucky enough not to go to the party, so we were clean. So our Christmas has been weird this year because when we give each other presents, we normally give each other a hug, but we've been doing it remotely using technology. So we've kind of it's like we're now seeing each other talking. It was very much giving each other presents and blowing kisses, no hugs. It's been a really weird Christmas, but
yeah.
they've got the all clear now. So we had our first proper day together over the last couple of days. So it's been
Oh, that's
really
good.
cool. So
That's good.
and it was a mild attack. I mean, this latest COVID is. I think a lot of people worry about it, but I think this COVID is getting weaker, or we're getting stronger, possibly. But it's not gonna. I think there's less deaths in the UK now. We have 110 to 120,000 people catching it every day in the UK. It is going through the UK like wildfire.
Oh,
But the hospitalizations are very low and the deaths are very low. We're only getting about 110 deaths. We had over 1,000 a day at the peak last year, and we're getting
wow.
about just over 100 a day at the moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So
People be safe. It's COVID is still out here. We have variants. Um, wear a mask if you can. If you have medical issues where you can't wear a mask, I understand, but try to stay safe as possible. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch other people's faces. Just be safe. Just be safe because I would like to not hear of anybody losing their life to this in
yeah.
2022. So be safe as you can. I know a lot of people don't believe in the vaccine, but maybe get it. Just to be extra safe.
In the UK, Gershon, the people that haven't got the vaccine are actually the ones that are going to hospital, and they're
Yeah,
the ones that are suffering. But not in every case, because I think there is an argument not to have vaccines for certain people that have really bad side effects. So my own feeling is it's a private decision that needs to be respected, even though I know the majority of us that have it should help to get this thing under control. But I also
true.
appreciate there are people who have got health issues that they worry about, and there's side effects from taking these things too. So
True.
I think it's a personal decision, but I do think overall we need to try our best to protect each other. And I think the vaccine is actually overall a blessing for us to be able to have, because without it, I just don't know where we'd be now, you know?
Very true.
Yeah.
Uh, Eric be getting on my nerves all the time. Thanks for coming through, though, Eric. You know I appreciate you. So, oh look, Antoine's here. Antoine from High Desert Pythons. What's up, man? Antoine, we still got to talk more about Spider-Man, and we're going to talk about Boba Fett. The Boba Fett just came out today, or did it come out yesterday? We definitely want to talk about that. So, yeah, and pulled out the lightsaber.
Hey, just for
You'll see that later in a blooper, guys. So remember that.
I'm talking to Anton now. He has something going on. He's got some quality specs. Thanks,
Hella
guys.
Heat Morris, what's up? Thanks for coming through. So you've watched the show. You know how the show goes. We bring you on, ask a couple questions, get to learn a little more about you, introduce you to my audience, get introduced to your audience, and help each other grow within the community. And it's a great way for me to network with people and get out of my shell. Because most of y'all don't think I'm an introvert, which I am. I'm terrified of people. But this is helping. So this is one of the reasons why I do it.
That's brilliant. Brilliant, Gershon. I love it. And you are so ahead of your game, honestly. The vision that you have to run these shows, to bring the community together, you are light years ahead of most of us. I promise you.
Thank you. I'm just a guy with a camera. I'm just a guy with a camera.
You're brilliant.
Trying to make people laugh and get to know each other. But I appreciate that. I'm trying to get better at accepting compliments, but it's weird. Because I don't feel like I'm doing anything spectacular. I'm just doing something I thought was fun and felt it would help me in the community.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You've inspired me because I was going to go live a year ago, but my technology let me down. But when I saw your show, I want to go live because I can see the benefits.
It is so much fun. You do get to meet so many people and get to interact with people, and it gives you a easier way to introduce yourself to somebody.
Yeah, and also you've got real friendships building here. This is real friendships we're talking here, and that's good. Business is good friendships at the end of the day, because if you take
very true,
business will take care of itself. Simple as that. And you're reaching out globally now, and I love that, because I may be your first UK.
Yes,
but honestly, there's no reason why you can't break this. You can go global, because honestly, you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
I'm starting to think that I'm going to start looking for other people in the country in the globe to bring on the show.
Yeah.
I wasn't. That was.
Yeah, go galactic. You know.
Hey, we might get Anakin on. That'd be great. Anakin likes snakes. I'm sorry, we let the nerd show.
Have you had? I think you have. You've had Leviathan snakes on, haven't you?
No, I haven't had them on yet.
They're galactic.
I haven't
had
them.
You should get them because they got a galactic logo. If you
want
to go
definitely.
Galactic, get them on the
we
show.
Talked yesterday on Adam's live, and I told him like, I want to have you guys on.
Yeah, I love Adam. My first live went with Adam a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
I really enjoyed that with him. Yeah, that was great. I love it. I love this social interaction. It is about 2:00 in the morning, but hey, I'm enjoying it.
Oh wow, yeah, forget it's so early.
That's okay.
So let's it's so late for you. So let's get some questions. I know you're ready. You were preparing for this. Like when we scheduled this, I was like, "Are you cool with this time?" Because I know it's gonna be super late for you. He was like, "Nope, I'm gonna take a nap beforehand. I'll be fine." Yeah. L Herps Reptiles, thanks for coming through. Mac, what's up? Thanks for coming. I clicked the button, it didn't show it. Mac, what's up? Thanks for coming through. So let's go ahead and get our first question of the night. And this is live, so I had to find it. Bam, there we go. It took a second. I had to find the right button, guys. So first question of the night. How long have you had your YouTube channel?
So I've got 2 YouTube channels. I'm a mad keen fisherman. So I've got, under my own name, Paul Greenacre, I've got a fishing channel that specializes in catching salmon, sea trout, and lots of other fish. And I've had that for about 8 years. And I've got about 2,500 subscribers there, but I really enjoy that. I just video all my fishing, and I coach and help people catch fish. So I love that. And but this last one I launched literally 18 months ago. So the one I'm doing with the New Forest Morph one, I launched 18 months ago.
Okay, that's not too long ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before I realized we were private on the other one. You make a video a day.
Well, what happened when I started the channel, I did 1 a week, and I was unboxing a snake every week, because as you get going, you want to share your unboxing with your followers. And boy, I didn't realize it was so easy to get the fishing channel going, but in the ball python market, honestly, my heart goes out to anyone that's launched a channel. It's tough. It is tough to get going.
100% is just to get that traction with people, to get people coming to your channel, because there's so many different ball python channels as is on top of reptile channels themselves. It is very difficult to start to build that audience, but repetition does help with it. Consistency helps with that, and doing a video a day definitely will help with that. So what made you go do a video a day?
So what happened is, before I went on YouTube, I started sharing my first clutches on Facebook, and people were starting to show an interest in that, family and friends. And I thought, I'm really enjoying this. I'm only using my phone.
Just water.
Just water. It's not vodka. It's not vodka. Okay.
I don't like to drink. I'm not a big drinker. I'm a Jack and Coke myself. That's all I really drink.
Okay, well,
This is H2O.
I'm completely teetotal. I haven't drunk alcohol ever in my life, other than when
Oh, really?
I've never drunk alcohol in my life ever, except for one
Oh,
exception, and that was when I was 11. I was at a family wedding, and I had an uncle who had an unlimited bar behind the wedding, and I'd never tried alcohol before. So I decided to go to the bar, and I said to the guy, "Can I have half a pint of bitter, please?" And he gave me half a pint of bitter, and I said, "It's for my dad." And I drank it, and I spent the rest of the evening in the toilet. I couldn't hold it. I was just like, it went straight through me. And I've never drunk any alcohol since then.
understandable.
Yeah.
Jay been to these reptiles. Thanks for coming through. Old Devil Ball Pythons. Thanks for coming through. Wow. So I didn't mean to derail you from your story. Go back to your story.
So how were we getting onto this? So I was on Facebook and I was getting some nice clutches. In my first year, we got 10 clutches in my first year, which was amazing. And I was really lucky because I fell in love with the ultra male gene. And I managed to get hold of a het ultra male girl from a guy in Southampton. And I got it for $100, which I thought was a really good price. And she was 4 kilograms.
Oh, wow.
And the guy just really, I think he was downscaling and it was getting too big for his collection. And I said, I'll take it because I wanted to get into ultramale and I couldn't get hold of a female ultramale in the UK. And I couldn't believe he told me he thought it was het for ultramale. And I took a gamble on it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to just do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got hold of a top breeder who sold me £400, a Mojave ultramale boy, and he was about 1,200 grams. I put that boy to that girl, and she gave me 10 eggs, of which I think 7 were Mojave ultramale combos. And I just nailed the odds. And I thought, you know, that has cost me £500, and it's made me nearly $4,000 in my first year, just one clutch.
Jeez.
What an experience that was.
Yeah. That's an amazing house balls. I did not fall asleep. I waited till I was done and then I passed out. I got home and passed out. Yeah, that is a great clutch. Was that your first year?
That was in my first year, and that was my first clutch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I thought, this is great. I've learned how to do this with my help of my son, Jared, who's got 2 years more experience than me. I've only been doing this 2 years. So in my first year of actually keeping ball pythons, I went straight into breeding. I bought mature females, and I wanted to learn the science and the science behind breeding. I was fascinated by the breeding. And I had 10 clutches in my first year because I went from mature females and mature males. I just wanted to get the experience of how to breed these animals and learn from it. And that's what got me going.
Nice. Taz Exotics, thanks for coming through. Wow. So your first clutch, you hit amazing animals. Amazing animals on your first clutch.
Oh yeah, and I've got now very strong ultramale if you look at all the hits I've got, so many ultramales. And of course, this is before everyone's jumping up and down about it because I loved it before everyone else started, which is great because going forward, we're going to produce some amazing ultramale combos.
Nice.
Really pleased with it, yeah.
I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. Prevada? Exotics, thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I am not the greatest at pronouncing names. But I have dyslexia a bit, so I mess up. But thanks for coming through. Greatly appreciate it. Oh, wow. So after that first clutch, how was all your other clutches after that? Did it feel like, because if you hit bangers like that on your first clutch ever, everything else kind of scales a little down after that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we started to hit 4 eggs, 5 eggs, a few slugs. I'm thinking, it's much harder than I thought. I got really lucky. That guy must have kept her for 5 years, completely virgin girl, and she was so loaded that she was. And those eggs, I'm not kidding you, the eggs were about 150 grams a piece. They were massive.
Wow!
I've never seen such a big clutch. You know, that was just incredible. But I think it's really nice to have a really good experience when you start off for the first time. Same with fishing. When you go fishing, you catch a fish, you're hooked. You don't catch a fish, you hate fishing. And it's the same with ball pythons. If you actually have a nice experience, it does get you going.
Very true. It does. It does keep that itch exciting when you hit
Yeah, yeah,
amazing clutches, especially that first go around. Um, it does make that first devastating clutch hit a little harder because you're like, wait, this is not how it's supposed to be. I was hitting beautiful stuff. What's going on?
yeah.
uh, no, I'm actually not vending Janesville. I forgot there was a show. Um, I might, I might be there because I told myself I want to go to more shows, so I might be there, but I'm not vending at all. Mm. Yeah, the Show Me Reptile show. James, is the Show Me Reptile show. Um, I forget what day. I think it's the. It's not the ninth. Well, that got me off track. I'm sorry. Paperclip Python, thanks for coming through. Yes, you caught a live. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. It helped that we started late. And no, we started on time. We just started on private and didn't realize. But thanks for coming through. Greatly appreciate you. So let's hit another question. This show is going to be a little wacky too because I am a little tired. But we're going to make it through. We're going to make it through.
Okay.
So next question. I am very interested in this, especially after our little conversation beforehand. What is your favorite codom and your favorite recessive?
Okay. Am I allowed to have more than one, or is it?
You're
one?
not allowed to have more than one, but we're letting it slide. You give me your runner-ups as well.
Okay. So I like yourself. I love Enchi because it's so versatile.
Yep.
I've got Enchi throughout my collection. I'm putting Enchi into most of them because whatever you put Enchi to, it just pops and it's just beautiful and it's just a
very true.
And I love the fact, and that's what drew me to you. You're actually in a project that I'm into, which is the Enchi clown, the albino clown. I've currently got an albino. I've got a clown girl who's 100% het for albino, going to a boy who's a clown that's 100% het for clown. An albino boy that's 100% het for clown.
Gotcha.
I'm hoping to hit a clown albino because I love them.
They are very nice. I finally hit mine this season. Very nice.
They're beautiful. Well done.
Thank
well
you.
Done. Yeah.
It's a great project. I mean, people have kind of pulled away from albino, and I still really like it. And it's a thing that got me in love with ball python, so I always will work with it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So so that's one. But I think the thinking about which one, leopard. Obviously, if we're moving away from codom and dominant gene, so leopard would be my dominant gene that I like. And I think also I like Enchi, leopard, and they're probably the two genes that I like the most when it comes to codom and dom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think leopard's stunning.
Leopard,
Whatever you put leopard to is just incredible. I just love leopard. I've got leopard going into a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm working on getting leopard too. I actually have a leopard. It's just on hold. I got it from a really good friend. I'm not gonna say it right now. We're gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a video with him, and we're gonna talk about it. But yeah, I have leopard on the way. Big plans for that. If you know me, you know what I'm gonna be trying to make with it because of I'm a nerd, so you know what I'm gonna try to make with it. But yes, I do like leopard. I haven't got it into my collection until now. So once I do, I'm gonna work with it, and of course, I'm gonna try to put it into albino clown because I'm gonna try to put everything into albino clown. I think it's amazing.
I've got an albino girl who's leopard albino, and she's stunning. Have you seen what leopard and albino does together?
I think I did. I just seen a picture.
It is stunning because what the nice thing about, as you know, when you put a black animal into an albino, you get incredible patterns and incredible intensity, and the whites become really white because it's like a negative effect. The albino turns the black into white. So I've got this girl who's she's building right now, and she gave me one baby last year, and I've got this albino boy that's 100% het for pied because I want to get albino pieds.
Working on that too.
Yeah, I think that's great. And the clown albino pied with a leopard in there is going to be amazing if you can get that combination.
All I need is a male now. I just proved out a girl that I raised up to be, she's 100% clown pied, learned that she's also 100% albino.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
I have a breeder size female. All I need is a male.
Yeah.
I learned it last year, well, this year when she dropped her clutch for the first time and produced some stuff. And I was like, I had albinos in it. And I wasn't expecting albinos, but I knew there was a chance if she did prove out I could get albinos, and I'm super excited right now. So
I think that's lovely, Gershon, because sometimes when we go for visual to visual, it takes the excitement out of the hobby, because I love messing with hets and even possible hets, because when it all comes good, it's just fantastic. You just jump for joy when the odds are in your favor and you're kind of experimenting with a 1 out of 16 and you hit one. Oh, whippy!
It definitely blew my mind when I cut that egg open.
Yeah.
Celtic Boss, thanks for coming through. Michael, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Wiz Constrictor Reptiles. I think I clicked the button. I did click it, but it didn't show. Wiz, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Hey, we still got to talk Spider-Man too. JJ's Tarantulas, thanks for coming through. Oh, there's so many comments. I missed a lot of you guys, but I don't see anybody new, so we're just going to go back. Black Pastel, definitely. Black Pastel into albino. I'm definitely trying to work that. Definitely. What did he say? James, it's on the 16th. The Show Me Reptiles thing is on the 16th. I hope you saw that. I might be going to that. Let me see. When is that? Sorry, I'm doing other stuff. This is what happens when you're live. You do weird stuff. People bring stuff to your attention. Oh, it's Sunday. Okay. I'm going to see about that. But yeah, so what is your favorite recessive?
Again, I've got so many, but we've spoken about Ultramel. My Ultramel is one of my favorites, but I think the Lavender Albino is I've got a black-haired Lavender Albino boy, and he just shed out today. I put him on my video.
Oh, nice. That's another one I want to get is blackhead. I want to get
blackhead into albino or blackhead into Lavender Albino is amazing. You should see how beautiful that snake is. And I got that 2 years ago, and he hasn't bred yet. I should have really bred him, but I just bought a dreamsicle pair, so I'm going to be putting that black-haired lavender into the offspring of some of the albino. I've got a dreamsicle pair that may give me a clutch this year, and if they do, I'm going to be seriously using that boy and getting him in there, because blackhead's got to go into that project if you want something slippy. Absolutely, you want that contrast.
Yep, definitely. Like blackhead, black pastel, and leopard,
and cinnamon. And cinnamon's very powerful. I mean,
I forgot about cinnamon.
Cinnamon's very powerful as well.
I totally forgot about cinnamon.
Yeah. So I'd say probably, I mean, obviously I love my clown pieds and I love my Ultramel. I mean, an Ultramel clown pied would be nice with Orange Dream would be a lovely combination.
Okay.
I think that the Lavender projects with Orange Dream as well, get the Orange Dream in there, get your Yellow Belly in there. And of course, I love Highway and Freeways, which is one of my favorite genes to get going. I mean, if we can get the Highway and the Freeway clowns with Orange Dream and Leopard, that is off the planet. No one's actually produced one. No one has produced a Super Orange Dream, Leopard, Highway, Clown, stroke pied.
Oh, wow.
Just get your head around that. I've got some pictures to show you later, because you asked what your favorite dream snakes is. I brought some pictures with me.
Oh, did you?
When you ask me that question, I'll be showing you a couple of my favorite snakes, but also because no one's actually produced it and I want to produce one, I've got to get you and all the viewers to get their head around trying to work out by giving a step-by-step picture process of what I'm trying to build. You've got to then visualize what potentially I'm going to be going for long term.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just break it down in 4 pictures, and you'll see those 4 pictures towards the end, and you'll try to get an idea of our vision from that, because describing it is very hard, but if you see steps working towards it, it might inspire others to think about this project, because it is a powerful, powerful project, and a beautiful snake. A snake that's just basically, it's going to pop. I mean, my goodness me, it's going to be beautiful.
So I literally blanked on what you said your recessive was, because now you got me excited about this. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait for this picture now.
Yeah, my favorite recessive at the moment, I think, is the lavender. Is
it okay?
Lavender Albino, I think. Because I think it's got huge potential, what it can do.
Okay. Yeah, I got Lavender Albino. I got a female, and I got a male that's het clown. But I've learned apparently there might be 2 different lines of Lavender Albino out there, because I know mines look drastically different from each other. For them to be that, I know sometimes genes have variations to them and stuff, but this is like a drastic different look to this one gene in 2 different animals.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit of a het influence, but I doubt it's really that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I think Brian from Samson's Negatorium told me there might be 2 lines. Don't quote me on that. I'm half asleep and half remembering, but it's possible. Yeah. Rob, thanks for coming through. So what was your second one? I know you said for right now Lavender's your favorite. So what was the one before Lavender?
So I think the one I would have probably chosen is, I mean, I know everyone loves clown, but honestly, some of the clown combinations are off the charts. I mean, when you start combining them with the multiple recessives, clown, lavender clowns, I mean, the Holy Grail, beautiful. Cypress stuff is great. I absolutely agree with that. Cypress, and also the other one I think that's going to take a lot of beating, which is very similar to leopard, is the acid and the confusion. Have you seen some of the combinations with acid and confusion in?
I've seen the acid, I've seen the confusion, and I'm very interested and see where people goes with that.
You start getting that into Clown and Orange Dream. Honestly, amazing. Yeah,
there's just so much stuff. There's so many genes, and I can't have them all. That's what makes it so hard. Is there's so many things that you could work with, and come and get such different looks in animals, and still not scratch the surface with it. That's the beauty of it, and sometimes the overwhelming issue with ball pythons. Someone's always finding new morphs, so now we got to get that in everything.
Well, I think there's 250 different morphs out there, at least, maybe more, and there's more being discovered. And I've worked out there's actually 1.4 trillion combinations out there.
I am Jesus.
1.4 trillion, and we're hitting no more than 2% of that at the moment. 2%.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
So
mind-boggling.
we are literally at the tip of an iceberg, and for every new gene that comes on, the multiples go through the roof. You think 1.4 trillion is massive? I actually believe that there's no end to this hobby, and I think when you set out, you want to really set out a long-term vision before you start buying, because even though it's overwhelming when you think of how many different combinations, I think if you get your initial ingredients right from day one, you build a pyramid. So you might have a project over here, project over here. By year 5, those 2 big projects will merge and create another project.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. So when you're laying out your plans, obviously it depends on how much time you have and how much money you have, but obviously focus on your favorites always. But I also think a longer term vision where you might have 5 projects that you're really keen on, but they all interplay with each other later in the development. So you've got to kind of look at a longer term pyramid that's going to peak at your height, but you've got to kind of get the building blocks right first. So there's a strategy here that you don't just fall in love with one gene. You've got to kind of think, I actually like 5 different recessives. How do they work with each other? Do they look good together? Or do they actually? So you've got to get this feel for your palette, that you've got to get a feel for where this could go and be open-minded and flexible enough, I think. Because if you take that approach, it won't be overwhelming. It'll be like, okay, I've got my clowns, I've got my pieds, I've got my ultramales. Those three together work fantastic. I've got my lavender albinos, and I've got a lovely mixture of codoms or incomplete doms, whatever you want to call them. And the key, I think, is to have a lovely mixture of the two, because I think you can sometimes overdo. Sometimes I can show you a picture of a snake here, which I'll ask you what you think it is. It's stunning. It looks great, but you'll be surprised how many genes aren't in it.
Yeah, I think sometimes you can muddy the gene pool with so much stuff.
You can.
You really want to look for stuff that brings contrast and maybe changes the shape and pattern of the snake, but you also want to get things that can work together and not contradict each other too badly. 100%. The Super Mojave Albino, I am not like a huge fan of it because it still feels like a patternless snake to me. There's a little pattern, but it's not. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever shoot for Cherry Bomb per se for me. But if you like it, touche to you. I would rather use Mojave in the GHI and make albinos out of those. So albino GHI Mojave would be more something I would be shooting for. And then, of course, they'll clown into that and then eventually pied and desert ghost to keep it clean forever. That's just my idea. Angel, what's up? Thanks for coming through. No worries. You're not that late because we started weirdly. You could go back and check later, or you can look for the blooper that's going to come out tomorrow. I'm sorry I missed you on the live last night. I was asleep. I was getting ready for work, so I was sleeping, and I popped in what I could, but you had already gone, and it would have been our first time talking to each other on a live. That would have been awesome, but maybe next time. Hopefully we'll do it again. Blitz is another one. Acid, Blitz, Pastel, Yellow Belly. Ooh, wow.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Blitz, Acid, Confusion. Yeah, there's so many lovely genes out there that just are slowly getting recognition and getting in other people's hands for them to start doing different things with it. That's where I like when genes get in people's hands that don't necessarily do the norm that other people do, and they work it in a whole different direction that a lot of people didn't think about, and we make such beautiful animals that we didn't even think about we could make, and it starts to open horizons for everybody and start thinking outside the box. Definitely something I'm trying to do is think outside the box a little more. It's difficult. It's hard, but definitely trying to do that. Let's hit another question. Before we hit that question, apparently YouTube likes it when you hit the like button. So if you're in here and if you could appreciate it, hit that like button, because YouTube likes that you hit the like button, and I like that YouTube like that you hit the like button. Also, make sure you go hit that follow button and that subscribe button on New Forest Morse. We're trying to get them to 1,000. You guys are super close to 1,000 subscribers, aren't you?
Yeah.
Trying to get
just for the show, Gershon, because I knew I wouldn't qualify, so I had to hold back the subscribers. But everyone's more than welcome to jump on it now.
He made it in on the wire. He made it. Technically, when I ask you to be on the show, that's where I count your subscribers. Okay. If anything happens after that, that's why I try not to book the shows out too far. But it happens. But if you get over 1,000 before you come on, and you're supposed to be the person for under 1,000 that episode, we're still going to celebrate that, because that's amazing. That's growth, and we're all about growth over here. So
yeah.
If you haven't, go hit that subscribe button. They're so close to 1,000. Help them get over that. We only have 2 more days in the year. Let's make that a goal for now, so we can go into 2022 at 1,000 subscribers for New Forest Morphs, if you can.
That'd be unbelievable.
So let's hit another question, which I'm actually interested in this too. What camera do you use to record your YouTube videos?
Okay, I brought it with me.
Oh, he's ready.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
So my son Adam, who's my technical IT guy, he does all the IT. He said go for this YouTube camera. So it's a Canon, and I think it's a let me have a look, an EO5, and it is fantastic. It limits my videos to half an hour. That's why I don't go beyond half, because it cuts me off with half an hour.
So wait, you're telling me you would make our videos if your camera would let you?
I would probably, because I don't know, I just lose track of time, to honest with you. I can just talk till the cows come home. But I've got so many animals. I do show a lot of snake candy. I believe in snake therapy. I think the healing power of snakes. There's so much to this hobby that I've come to know how powerful these animals are. And it's not just about producing morphs, it's about the personality and what the snake does. So a normal, beautifully raised and docile can have as much healing power as something with a flashy paint job, you know. So it's not just about, there's a lot of healing power in these snakes. For so many, I've seen my daughter heal from both physical and mental health issues getting into this hobby. So my heart is so much into this because I can see the power of this. And we have what they call the National Health Service. You may have heard of it. It's like, it's a public, so instead of going to a private hospital, we all pay national insurance and have that deducted from our pay slips. So therefore, if anyone becomes ill or needs an operation, there is a long waiting list, but you don't pay $5,000 for one operation or 20,000. You pay your stamp each month from your wage slip. And then NHS, which is known well, it's actually renowned for being some of the best treatments and best service. Even the private sector uses the NHS resources, the National Health Service. It was introduced in the 1940s by the Labour government over here, and it's our jewel in the crown of our public services. So that we believe that whether you're from a very poor background or a wealthy background, that we believe that health should be free at the point of entry, no matter your financial status. This is a principle that we hold really dear to us, because people's lives are far more important than money.
Very true. Very true. I can't say America feels that way sometimes, but that is the way we should be going, honestly. Yeah.
I mean,
we shouldn't have people dying because they're worried about a medical bill.
Yeah.
They're not going to the doctor because they know they can't pay that bill that's going to come with it.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be happening.
But there are problems because we are overloading the NHS at the moment with COVID, because COVID is pushed back. I've been waiting 3 years for a hip replacement. I need a hip replacement. I mean, I was a very active sportsman. I used to play a lot of squash and racquetball when I used to be really fit. And then I got injured. When I was fishing, I fell off this bridge and I landed 6 feet on my hip and landed on this iron girder that smashed up my hip. And I've been wobbling around for 3 years waiting for my op because COVID is. I backed off about 2 years ago because there were so many more important people that were dying of much more serious stuff. I held back, and I didn't realize I had to go back on a new waiting list. I thought I could go in later. So I'm still, hopefully in the new year I'll have it. But yeah, so it's got its blessings, but also you have to be patient with the service. Whereas I know in the States, if you can get in there, they'll sort you out. As long as you've got money, they'll sort you out.
Okay.
Am I right, or is that?
Yeah, pretty much. If you got the money, they'll do whatever you want. They'll cut you anywhere.
When I was in the States with my son Adam, he had to have an operation or a treatment. And the first thing they asked me when I went to the hospital when I was in the US was, "Can I have your credit card first, please, sir?" And that was the very first thing they asked. So it kind of woke me up to what you guys are living with. It's very, if you don't put your money there, you don't necessarily get the treatment, which
Very true.
JT,
thanks for coming through. Stranger is nice, and it's coming on the scene heavy right now. A lot of people are working with it, making some amazing stuff with it. Looking forward to what people are going to produce with it. Keeping my eye out for that. Hey Kai, thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Had fun with you on the live yesterday. Kai doesn't have Stranger. I don't think Kai has Stranger. He might have Stranger. I can't remember. He might. No. Kai, you don't have to answer. But if you do, let us know if you have Stranger in the comments. My first clutch hopefully will have ass. Nice. Congrats. Congrats. So before we hit the fourth question, let's go ahead and hit tip of the week. Tip of the week is when I post a Instagram or Facebook post, you put a tip under it and you'll get a shout out on the show. Just like, oh wait, that wasn't the right one. Hold on, I pushed the wrong one. Yes, you'll get a shout out like Black Reptile Company. For me personally, personal experience as a beginner breeder, don't be afraid to start over again. Time and unforeseen circumstances happen. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. Beautifully said.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to take a step back to take 3 steps forward. There's nothing wrong with readjusting your collection, letting go some animals because you're not passionate about that project anymore, to focus on a project you're passionate about. 100% agree with that. 100% agree. And if you would like to be on the next tip of the week, I'm going to post the link. I'm going to post Instagram, Facebook post after the show. All you got to do is put a tip down that you would think will be for reptiles, YouTube, or even life. We're doing everything. Oh, that's my kids. They're getting crazy. We're doing everything. Just put a tip down, and whichever tip has the most likes will be showcased on the next show, and you'll get a shout out. I think people are talking about the tip. Oh, I got to get a new computer. Hopefully, I'm not lagging. Gershon, do you or Paul work with Extreme Gene? I don't have any Extreme Gene. Do you have any Extreme Gene?
No, but I've got a very good friend who does, and we're going to do a joint project together. And I think it's well worth having if you want to brighten up everything. It's very powerful. I've seen what he's got. He's got an Justin Kobelka Extreme Gene, and it is amazing.
Oh,
if you can get hold of one, I'd definitely get it in your collection. It's definitely worth having.
It's definitely a great looking gene. I'm looking forward to working with it eventually. But there's so many genes, like I've said before, and it's you have to be. I have a certain amount of snakes I want to have and not go over because it's just me taking care of all the animals. So I don't want to overwhelm myself because I still have to work, still have kids to raise, still have a wife to not get in trouble with. And then there comes cleaning of the snakes and all that. So I want to be able to maintain that and not lax on anything and have my animals suffer or my kids suffer or the wife make me sleep on the couch. So I have to be smart about the genes I bring in
I totally
and
agree.
take my time with it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one because Jad and I somehow got to 160 animals very quickly in less than 3 years.
And it can happen so fast.
Honestly, it's a lot of work. It's only 2 or 3 hours a day. When he was off with COVID and I was looking after the collection myself, 3 hours a day in there just cleaning. That's like half a day, half of a day. And luckily, I'm self-employed. I've got another business I run, so I can be flexible with that. But I can't be flexible with that all the time. I can break away and I can do this, but my goal plan is to increase the quality of what we have and then downscale. So if I can get the average clutch size up to say, I don't know, $10,000, if I can get the average clutch size up to that level, I can probably be happy with 40, aim for say 40 clutches a year would be my and try to aim for 10,000 a clutch. So that's just under £500,000 of revenue. And that's
not bad.
If we can achieve that as a family in the next 10 years, I'm going to be very pleased.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad goal right there.
40 pairs is, I mean, Jad and I are looking after 160 together right now, and it's a lot of work. But I want to be able to go for my projects, but also have a life because I've got a business, I've got fishing, I've got other things that I'm interested in. I think the problem we have sometimes is if we allow our snakes to take over our lives, we're not happy.
Very true.
You know, you've got
when it comes to work, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah. So I've realized that, and I've realized I've got to scale back. But the reason why we've gone in so quickly is I'm learning so much. I'm making so many mistakes, Gershon. If I told you the mistakes I'm making, I'm sure you've been there. But, you know. But it's part of the journey. We have a baptism of fire. I mean, most of us have experienced mites. Probably some of us have experienced RI issues. Some of us have probably experienced real issues with our snake's health, and it can get us down. And, you know, I spent 8 weeks in my first year fighting a mite issue that came from someone that gave me a snake that I thought didn't have mites, but it did. And I learned my lesson. It took me 8 weeks to get on top of it. And I thought, I'm never going to go there again. And touch wood, never had mites in my collection since. So it's a baptism of fire. We learn, and then we become more careful in the future. And now I'm very, 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 very careful. I haven't bought one snake this year.
Oh, wow.
I haven't bought one snake this year. And the reason is because we're producing
I can't say
our
that.
own, but also it's also because in my first year, I was so trusting of so many breeders that have given me problems that I've had to deal with. And now I'm a little bit frightened to just buy from anyone. Now
I can totally understand that.
I'm being really careful now. So I've got such a precious collection I'm building that's clean as a whistle. There's no way I'm going to jeopardize it. By buying a snake like I did in my first year. You're a novice, you're new, you don't understand all these problems, you just trust people. And you import problems, and you've got to deal with it, and it's not funny.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So do you breed or buy your snake food? Because I'm really interested. You said you have 160 snakes. So
yeah. So at the moment, I don't have time. Yeah, I don't have time to breed them, but I'd like to. I want to breed. In the UK, we're allowed to have Maltese. We're not allowed to feed live. So every single animal has to be fed on a frozen thawed basis.
Oh, really?
Government have got stipulation in this country that we're not allowed to feed live.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a big time. It's a big time problem in the UK. And so what I want to do is I want to breed some Maltese. Eventually, I will breed some Maltese because I'm moving my collection to Maltese now because I'm finding that it's a much more natural diet because the Norwegian rats are not based in Africa and they are very fatty. And I've found that they can pack on a lot of weight, but most of that weight's fat. So we have this goal to get our snakes up to 1,500, but they're not in condition really. And I've tried it myself. I've made my mistakes. I've pushed a girl twice at 1,500 thinking they're up to weight. Most of it was fat, and she gave me loads of slugs. And I thought, this is not right.
Yep.
So I'm now.
So you say Maltese, is that ASFs?
ASFs, we call them Maltese.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. ASF. So they are fantastic. So I've been feeding every 2 weeks now. I was feeding weekly, and now I've moved across to every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Except for my breeder girls and except for my hatchlings. My hatchlings get fed once a week, a decent meal. And their growth rates are unbelievable. If I showed you my hatchlings from last year and how big they are, you'll be surprised. And they're only getting 1 meal a week.
So what made you go to every 2 weeks?
I've got a friend who's mentoring me who's got 10 years experience and he's got a very strong scientific background. So he's been helping me fine-tune my systems. And having a good mentor is so important. I can't underestimate. I need to emphasize this point that we all need to find our Jedi Master in the hobby, if you like. And normally,
I agree. I'm still looking for mine, but I agree.
I'll get my lightsaber out later. But I mean, I'm only a baby, so what I'm trying to do is my YouTube channel is designed really for people coming in for the first time because they can relate to me because I'm making so many mistakes and I'm being real and I'm being transparent with all the mistakes, and new people coming in don't have to feel embarrassed to be open about what they're struggling with, because if they see me struggling as a new person coming in, it's real. And you know, I'm not going to paint this glossy picture that there's no issues or problems, because in reality it's hard work and you get some. We've had a clutch which was full of kinks and it killed me. I had a panda pie clutch in my first year. Ooh. And they're all kinked other than about 2 animals. I had a $10,000 clutch, of which 4 out of the 6 were severely kinked. And they were white panda pies. They were really beautiful. They were worth about $4,000 each. All kinked out. And I had to speak to my vet and we had to put them down because there's no way they would make it through. They were just severely kinked. It's so sad. I mean, that broke my heart, that did, because I really wanted to get some panda pies. They're hard to get. No wonder they're so expensive, you know.
They are. And that's mortgage money. That plow money is mortgage money. It's not snake money.
Yeah.
and I have to go plow in the middle of the night, Kai. Yes. Pandas are really that's why people are working with mahogany and trying to make the route with that because they have the less issues of kinking.
I've bred an army of female panda pied makers in my first couple of years. I've got them all ready for next year. I've got to source a really quality mahogany male pied. It's going to cost me a bit, but I'm going to put him to 6 girls when he's up to size. Probably put him to 2 in the first year because I don't believe in pushing my males. But eventually he'll probably go to 5 or 6 girls, and we're going to try and get the odds up to hit the similar to a panda pied, but it's going to be hopefully not kinked, and we're going to have the same impact, similar look. And I've seen what they look like. They're amazing, Gershon. If you look at the super Sumas pieds, are a beautiful snake, and you can actually add cinnamon to that as well, by the way. So you actually get more intensity.
Wow.
So you don't have to not have cinnamon in it or black pepper. Because it's a separate super, you can actually get high intensity and safety without getting the cine to cine by using Justin Kabelka's approach, which, again, fantastic leader of the industry because he's showing us the safe way of doing it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is actually a good question for you, most likely, because it's not for me. I don't have imports. But, is it more of imports or local sales for you?
So I imported most of my snakes when I was buying in all my snakes, mainly because there's a shortage of snakes in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And the Europe are ahead of us in some ways. They've got some amazing genes. In fact, some of the European markets are bigger than the American markets in certain genes, where you're importing from Europe to get certain genes. So we're very lucky to have it on the doorstep. But COVID, it's basically not crucified the imports. It's meant it takes much longer to get them from Europe. It's more paperwork. And now we've got to pay 20% tax on everything.
Ooh.
So it just puts the price up. We were coming in. I was importing without having to pay tax at one point, and it was great because I was getting them at 70% of the value of what I'd have to pay in the US. So you imagine how much you've got to pay for your clown girls in the US. A lot more than us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That does suck.
Yeah. So I was importing, but I think the UK market is starting to mature now. It's starting to grow. There's a lot more becoming available now. So now you can get female clowns after a couple of years of me not getting any at all. You can now get them in the UK. But you've got to be on the button. As soon as they come up, you've got to get them within a week. Otherwise, they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you for the double support. Both of you guys watching, families. I love it. Thanks for the double support. I'm going to pronounce this terribly wrong. Ecos Dust, I think. I might be wrong. I apologize if I am. What did he say? Yeah, I get some of the cool looking boas and boa constrictors. Called Zero over there in the UK. Wish I could get it. Oh, nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you forget, people sometimes forget, people are working with a lot of these animals, ball pythons, boas, green tree pythons, all these different reptiles in other parts of the world as well, and they have access to animals that we might not have access to, and they're making some amazing things. So this is going to be a global industry. Like you said, I think you said next 5 years is going to be a lot more global of an industry. You always already see Justin adjusting to that fact with the name change. Mm-hmm. So that's something to be aware of, everyone.
Yeah, I think it will go global. I think more and more breeders are going to be breeding higher value clutches that make the transportation costs smaller in relation to the cost investment. So when that becomes more of the norm and more of us breeders have got more money from our hobby, we're going to want to upgrade and buy ourselves. We'll be importing all over the world. So I think this is going to become very much a global business, and having a YouTube channel is going to help that process big time.
That's very much so.
This is another reason I've got into it, because I'm connecting with more breeders in the US and Canada at the moment than I am in the UK. So I'm looking to you guys as future, perhaps me buying from you or perhaps even selling to you guys. You know, it could be that we build a nice relationship and we trust each other and we decide to import each other's snakes, because give it 5 or 10 years, honestly, if you work out the value of your clutch sizes and the because the gills are going to get bigger, the clutches are going to get bigger, the value of each clutch is going to grow organically, not just because they're better genes. And also, we're getting better because we're fine-tuning our systems. Therefore, we're going to get less slugs, less kinking. We're going to learn from our experiences. We're going to learn about incubation issues. We're going to become a fine-tuned instrument with some amazing genes. And I can just see this going north, personally. I can see this just getting better and better if we stick with it. And every problem we have isn't a problem necessarily. It's a stepping stone onto something better.
Okay. Yeah, 100%.
You know?
So you're working, I forgot what you said. ASFs, you're working with the ASFs. I forgot what you guys called it.
Maltese. Yeah, Maltese.
Maltese. There we go. So you're working on breeding your own Maltese, but will you still have to freeze them after?
Yeah, we're going to have to find a very clever way, a safe way of taking care of them, and then we're going to do one or two things. You can either if you have surplus to your requirements, you freeze them for the future, or you sell them on to fellow colleagues or friends if you've got surplus. But they need to be fed fresh, so you'd actually, you'd have to humanely take them out as humanely as you can, and then you'd have, obviously you could feed them fresh. They wouldn't stop you from feeding them fresh, or you freeze them. And I've got 2 freezers. I've got a backup for everything. Having had storm damage 6 weeks ago, I've got a backup for everything now. Even my generator, I have a backup generator for the main generator, just in case we lose power again.
I am working on getting the generator because we lost power maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It was only for like 4 hours, so everybody was okay. All the snakes were okay. The room stayed above 70 degrees, so everybody was okay. But yes, I'm working on. That's probably going to be one of my bigger investments this coming season. Is a generator of some sort. Yeah. It's just smart to protect my investments and my animals, just in case something happens.
Yeah,
which people don't normally talk about.
I think sometimes you've got to have this experience to wake up to the realities of what could go
very
wrong.
True.
And that
very
goes for
true.
a lot of things in life. And I think the key is to learn quickly and get prepared as quickly as you can, because the cost of a generator has come down tremendously. I mean, I think my first generator was $300, but it wasn't strong enough for the facility. I've got a purpose-built facility. So during lockdown last year, as a family, to get through lockdown, we built a 40 square meter facility that will take 300 snakes. And we built that from scratch without getting builders in. We had a friend that could lay block work, and my son Jared did all the carpentry. We laid foundations and footings. And next year in my video, I'm going to show you all my plans, and I'm going to show you how to build a facility. If anyone's thinking about it and they want to see what we've done, by all means use our drawings to help you get a vision of what you can do, because if you build it yourself, it will cost you half the price of if you get a builder in.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's my temple now. It's my Jedi temple. My facility is my Jedi temple. It really is. I go there.
That is, hey, you're mixing your passions, and I love that. That's what I do with mine. I mix my passion for anime and cartoons in my name of my snakes.
Yeah.
It's a way to interact with fans and have them pick the name, but 2, it does make me emotionally attached to those animals a little bit, which always hurts when you have to sell them or you let them go because you've got what you needed out of them. Rough way to say that, but you've done what you needed with them with the project, and to move forward, you already got their offspring that helps you move that project forward, so you can let them go and let them help somebody else in their projects. But it does hurt when you let them go. I've let go 3 animals that I've named, and I periodically still check up on them, ask the people how they're doing. Are they still breeding? One of them actually passed away, which sucked. I was a little sad, but it does happen. But yeah, it's merging your passions only makes you more passionate about what you're doing. It's weird. Very weird.
100% on that. I'll tell you why. Is because the more we care about these animals,
the
better, because we are then more open-minded to cutting edge technology that will help our snakes. The key, I believe, to being a successful breeder is to de-stress those snakes as much as we can. I mean, it's as simple as that. The more we can de-stress our snakes, the more success we're going to have. And we've got to learn the art of how to de-stress our snakes. Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
And
go right ahead and use it if you want to. I'm totally fine with that. Just give me a little shout out. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, go ahead and use it. That's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, I see passions right there. There we go.
I like Jeremy's idea on the two temples. That's a fantastic idea. Not just Star Wars. I'm gonna have to bring Anakin Cobra out on one of my videos just to keep the Star Wars fans happy, I think.
Yes, definitely.
But then coming back to de-stressing, this is a really important point. I feel I like to, if I may make this point, Gershon, because I think
go ahead.
As a new beginner coming in, I was so keen on getting them up to size. I was inadvertently putting my snakes under too much pressure without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was feeding every week, giving them probably too big a meal, and an animal goes through a lot of stress digesting food, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Now,
that's one of the reasons why I was asking you about the 2 weeks. How has that been on your animals? Have you seen change?
Can I tell you what happened?
Yeah.
When the storm hit me 6 weeks ago, and me and Jared, we were exposed, and we got ambient temperature was dropping down to as low as 72, 73 in the facility, which is quite a drop, but it's enough they can bounce back off that and they can survive that. They can come back on that, no problem. But I wouldn't want my snakes to have such a massive drop like that, Gershon. So that's why I got the generator. But the blessing that came was I didn't want to feed my snakes for a couple of weeks because they'd just gone through a shock.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to stress them by giving them food because they need the heat, barely heat to digest anyway. They just went through a shock. And my top mentor said, "You're feeding your snakes too often, Paul." And I said, what are you doing? And now he's had 10 years of experience. He said, "I'm feeding every 2 weeks, except for the hatchlings, once a week." He's not feeding every 5 days, which a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
The hatchlings are feeding once a week. And he said only his girls, when they want a pound, when the time is right, he will give them extra food when those girls need it.
Mm.
He said that most of us are burning money and spending time cleaning most of the big poops. Burning money, we're spending time extra cleaning, and most of the food we give them ends up in poop anyway.
Yep.
And so he said, change your system, try it. And I said, I'm going to try this. And for about 6 weeks, I've been doing this. I never fed any of my snakes, even my hatchlings didn't get any food because they also went through a temperature drop. And I didn't feed them for at least three weeks.
Okay.
Now, you might think that's crazy, but you know what happened? Those snakes had a clean out and they had a rest. Okay.
Mm.
And their poos became smaller and firmer. Their color and their glowing was beyond I've ever seen it. I've never seen them glow so much.
Mm.
And they were much more peaceful, docile. You know, when I was opening up the rubs, all my rubs virtually have hides in them, by the way, because I believe that a snake likes to have a hide. So I know it's extra cleaning for us, but that de-stresses them. And I found my snakes' health improved dramatically by making that change. Dramatically. And my monthly food bill dropped off $600 a month down to $300. So it was good for the bank account too. So what are we doing? We are getting this wrong. We are pounding these animals with food, stressing them to the helm, and wondering why their clutches aren't actually happening and why they're getting slugs and why they're stressed. We're breeding too often and it's stressing them out because the breeding process is highly stressing for an animal, believe it or not, even though, we like to think that they're having a great time, which they probably are. But if they're having too much of a great time, they're working. These boys are working hard and the girls.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I mean, I had a lovely clutch, an on-stream clutch last year on one lock.
Really?
I had 2 girls that gave me 16 slugs, and they had 6 locks, and they were being bred every month. Okay.
Mm.
And they were up to size, by the way. And I was thinking to myself, hang on a minute. What are my snakes teaching me here? Are they
We-
teaching me that I need to be more cautious with the breeding? Because a male needs to build up sperm count. He needs to build up strength. So when he goes to that female, whatever he's going to put into her is going to be supercharged. He's not firing blanks. If you overbreed a male, his sperm count's going to be down. He's going to be stressed to the helm. Is he going to be firing on all cylinders? Or is he just, we tick the box and say, oh, that month he locked. Good news. Is it good news? Are you better off waiting and maybe waiting a couple of months? I haven't bred for 6 weeks since the storm. I haven't bred yet. And everyone's probably thinking, you're crazy. You got halfway through the breeding season, you haven't bred yet. Now, we got off to a flyingly good start because we used the rhythm of the room to breed our snakes. Have you heard of the rhythm of the room?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so you basically have one strong male going into your female, and then you have about another. We had 10 pairs going together, and the male that goes straight for a guaranteed lock creates so much hormone, it gets all the other boys fired up. They want to breed. And out of 10, we got 8 out of 10 in our first week of breeding this season, straight
Nice.
on the bat, without any major effort, just because we got the rhythm of the room where the girls were up for it, and we got some amazing locks. So they've already kick-started the follicle growth. Now we're resting and choosing our moment to put the boys in. We're not going to rush in on a second lock.
Yeah.
We're taking our time on this. I want to get those boys back supercharged. So when they have that second lock, we should probably be at 20 mil. So I bought myself this year I invested $1,000 in a ultrasound, so I can actually.
Yeah, I've seen that video where you're opening it and everything. Yeah.
I want to pinpoint it. Now I know we can't all afford this because we can use traditional methods to do it, but I'm trying to pinpoint when I'm looking at every male as being, I've got to preserve his strength. I'm not going to overstretch them. I'm not gonna, I mean, I've had snakes get so stressed out you can't use them the next season. They're that stressed.
Yep.
I'm going to put them through that. I care for these animals. They're not just breeding machines. They're my pets.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm looking at things so differently, and I believe that we'll probably get blessed long term if we take a much more cautious approach, even though
Exactly.
many experienced breeders thinking I'm talking out of my rear end at the moment, but I've only been doing it 2 years and I'm learning from my mistakes, and I'm going to try this experiment. If I end up producing 20 healthy clutches with, I'm going to be thinking to myself, I'm glad I've done this. If I end up with maybe just a handful of clutches and they're all bad, then I'm going to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate what I'm doing.
True. But there's nothing but positive can come from you taking a lot of stress out of that snake's life during the breeding cycle, during the feeding cycle.
Yeah.
It can only lead to positives for if that snake's happier, if that snake's healthier and not so stressed out, it does what it naturally does a lot better.
I think so. I just have this feeling that I need 1 or 2 really good locks where my animals aren't stressed, with all the other husbandry spot on, and I reckon that's what it's going to take. And your most important lock is toward the end. We knacker our boys out and we wonder why our girls give us slugs, because at the very key moment when they need fresh sperm in them, those girls, if they can get fresh sperm, we've knackered our boys out and we expect them to do the most important lock and they're knackered. And you wonder why we're getting slugs.
Very true.
I'm going to keep my boys, I'm going to keep the powder dry, so to speak. So when they fire off at that final lock, it's going to be like, whoopee! It's going to be the strongest and best lock I can possibly give those girls.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But before But no, it makes perfect sense because that's what I'm trying to do this year. I've only paired the males I plan to use this year. I've only paired them maybe 7 times with the girls they're going with, and it was only for that first lot. I'm using the ultrasound, seeing where those follicles are, watching those develop.
Yeah.
But also watching the females, learning their behaviors, seeing who's going to the cold side, who's cold seeking, who seem like they're trying to build and eat more, and always at the front of the tub ready to eat. You always have to pay attention to your animals, see how they're moving, seeing what they're doing. That is another aspect of being a breeder that people are still working on learning.
I've got 5 boys that are gagging for sex right now. They've had 6 weeks of rest, and I can see now when I clean them, they want to come out, and they start smelling all the females. and they want to go in, and I haven't done it yet. But when they do go next week, we're going to do a follicle check, and then they're going to go next. I'm hoping it's all going to be successful next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's get another question. What do you use to edit your videos?
I used to use some software that my son gave me, which was only about $50 a year. And I think you've mentioned it a few times on your channel, because I've been watching your channel and gone back and watched loads of your videos, by the way, because I really
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I would say to anyone that hasn't, what Gershon has here, he has a treasure chest of gems in his collection, not just his snakes, but I'm talking about the videos and the personality he brings on the show. So I'm giving you a big shout out on your own show now, because people do not know how I
feel about compliments. It makes me feel weird.
Honestly, you've got a treasure trove of assets that need to be tapped into here by future viewers, new viewers, and even, may I say, some of your established viewers may not have seen everything. But I'm going through all your videos right now and just gleaning so much knowledge, and I love it. And you know, you're on my. I've got a list of favorite subscribers, and you're up there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
you're here to make me blush.
No. Just to answer the question, Gershon, I just wanted to say that in the early days, I used what's it called? I can't even remember the name of the software. I haven't used it for so long. Is it Wilformer? I mean, I've got it on my computer. Can I just check my computer? I'll just be with you.
Yeah, go right ahead. I think it sounds familiar. It definitely sounds familiar.
So what have I got on my systems? Because Adam's just built me a new computer system.
Oh yeah.
It's something called Wilformer or something like that. Former.
Okay.
Filmer. World Filmer.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not very good at this, but no, I don't edit. So coming back to my YouTube channel now, everything is like Brian Cusco uncut. It's all you get what you get.
Oh, really?
Everything is totally uncut. All my last videos in the last 9 months have been completely uncut, mainly because I want it to be natural, and also I want it to reflect the reality of what happens. Things go wrong in the middle of shoots that I don't edit out. I show you, like today, for example, I got my first clown clutch today, this year. And I was doing an update on the clown clutch, and I had the beautiful Christmas box in the light box, and I was balancing my beautiful visual clowns on there, and one of my girls toppled over and crashed out. Okay,
oh no!
Which you might look at and think, this guy's not looking after his snakes. It wasn't a massive drop. It was literally probably about 3 inches, and she just rolled it out and she got on with her life. She was fine. But you're getting that kind of stuff, so you will see that you learn. A hatchling's behavior can be clumsy. I mean, these hatchlings can be clumsy. Last week, we had an escapee that got out of, I don't know if you've heard about that one, but I had an escapee last week. I couldn't find that escapee hatchling for Purple Passion Clutch, one of my favorite Purple Passions. She went missing, and it took me 3 days to find it, and that was quite a miracle. It took me 3 days to find it. She's okay. She's doing fine now.
Nice. I've had a snake get out, and it was out for a month.
Oh my goodness!
It actually wasn't. I can't remember. I have to figure it out. It's actually either the girl that just proved out as a triple het for me, or it was her sister. So she got out. I hatched them both out. Female double het clown pies. Super excited. I was ready to sell one. It had all its meals. It was ready to be sold. I was in contact with the seller. And the day before the seller gave me the money, the girl I was going to hold back got out.
Oh.
So I had to contact the seller. I was like, hey, I don't know how to say this, but I can't sell you that animal anymore because I lost the one I was going to hold back. And he was like, I understand that totally. I understand that. I know you've been working on this project. I understand. No problem. So it 3 weeks went by. I was just searching for her. And then next week I had found her. I didn't even find her. My dogs found her under a pile of clothes. They were barking at the clothes. And I was like, why are you guys barking at the clothes? And I lift up the clothes, and there she is on the concrete. She's cold, but alive. And I'm in awe, just so happy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I contact the guy that was gonna buy the other one. I was like, "Hey, I found my snake, so I can sell you the double head if you still want it." And he was in the process of getting out of snakes, so it was a blessing. I end up holding both of them back, and now I have 2 double head clown pied females. Are breeder size. One is a triple head, and the other one hopefully can prove out as a triple head too this season.
So what's the extra recessive you got in there? What's the other extra recessive you got?
Albino. So it was the albino clown pied.
Oh yeah,
which super excited about.
Right up. That's right up my street. Gosh, that is right up my street, man. That is. It's a lovely story because I can relate to what the joy of finding the lost one. You know, my channel's about relating my snakes to us as well.
Yeah.
And when you look on my channel, there is a pastoral caring side of my channel which reaches out to the community. I mean, I've had a ministry in a way where I've actually reached out to people with suicide, people that have had COVID attacks, people that have lost 5 people in 1 year in their life due to COVID, where they've sent me personal messages, and I take the time to listen and show love and empathy because I have a very strong spiritual background, which people will see in the channel, that I'm very open with my faith in God, very open with my belief in a miraculous God who can bring about miracles. So I was praying for 3 days to find my snake, and the answer to that prayer didn't come in the first day. It didn't come in the second day. It came on the 3rd day after my sons had come back from university and were eating a beautiful Boxing Day dinner as a family. And they saw that I was a little bit upset about something. They said, "Dad, how you doing?" I said, "I'm really worried about my snake." And I said to them that Mum and I have been through the whole of the facility because I've got a hip. I can't pull out stuff with my hip problem. I rely on Jared, and now Jared's got COVID with his family, and he's in another university, so he can't come and use his muscles. He's built really strong, but my other 2 boys are strong. So when I said at the dining table, you know, this is my problem, but I don't have the strength to move everything to find this snake, Nathan then started to flex his, he's got big muscles. He started to flex his muscles at the dinner table, and I'm saying, do you guys want to help me find the snake? And they said, "Sure." So it was so funny. It was so funny. Anyway, 2 minutes of us walking into the facility, we found that snake.
Oh, wow.
Now, Amanda and I had spent 3 days looking for that snake.
Wow. Yeah,
So
I know that frantic looking. Oh, is it here? Is it here? Where are the dark and warm spaces they probably would go hide?
Well, that's exactly what I did. My initial reaction was, it's going to get cold. It's out of its rub. I put the water and hide and rub on the floor so it could smell its own scent and find its own water. I didn't want it to dehydrate. I thought this could be, I was thinking very carefully. And then I said to Nathan, there's a heat coming off the freezers. You could be behind, let's look at the heat sources. So Nathan and I were starting at the heat source. Adam, my other son, said, "Dad, I want to try the other end where he came out of his rub," because most escapees are literally within 3 feet of where they come out.
Very true. Okay. Very true.
Normally within 3 feet. They find a hide and they stay in there for safety, and they don't necessarily seek heat. They actually seek hides more than heat. And what I didn't realize is we bought a light box last year, and there's about a cardboard box full of 5 different colored mats sitting in the light box, sat behind the incubator that I can't pull out because I haven't got the strength to do it. Although we've just had our last clutch and it's switched off, I could have done it with the boys' help. So the boys pulled the incubator out. I looked in the corner of the facility and I saw this cardboard box that Jared had put there, and I wondered, what the heck's that? And it was covered in, Adam said, "I can see some snake poop." And I said, "That's not snake poop. That's wood lice. The wood lice have come in off the forest, and they're occupying that space."
Oh.
And there were spiders and cobwebs. It was like, oh my goodness me, there's a spot we need to clean, because there was even bacteria growing down there. I thought, we're going to spray that down.
Oh, wow.
Because we go for ambient temperature and we go for ambient humidity, which is going to cause problems in the facility. If you're not on it, you've got to clean your facility as well as the rubs. I don't spray down any of my rubs anymore, and I'm getting pretty good sheds right now.
Nice.
Just by using the fogger. If you want to save a lot of work and you don't want to spray down your rubs and spend loads of money on cocoa husk, I use very good quality paper, and I create an ambient temperature and an ambient humidity. I still have a heat gradient and I still have heat mats, but I don't spend 2 hours spraying down 160 rubs a day. I let the fogger create the atmosphere and create the vapor in the air.
Nice.
And it's working pretty good. I mean, I'm still got issues with big snakes. So we found this cardboard box, and I looked inside, and lo and behold, halfway down the box, wedged in amongst the paperwork, was this purple passion. We found that within 2 minutes of walking into the facility. So I learned a lesson there that sometimes God answers our prayers to other people. In fact, in the majority of cases, he does use other people to bring about his purposes. He doesn't do a divine intervention and part the head of me. There you go, my son. The snake's down there. He'll often test our faith, test our own resources, test our own knowledge, test our own abilities, and then he will say, have you exploited all your resources around you? Have you sought help? Have you spoken to family and friends? And honestly, for me, it's a miracle because, you know, it really is a miracle for me. And I do recognize God's hand in my life because it's through other people that he blesses us. And sometimes we've got to have enough faith to believe that he will answer us through other people, not necessarily directly himself. It doesn't always work that way.
Very true. You always sometimes don't see the signs that he shows us. We take it for granted and not pay attention to the signs he shows us in the path he tells us to follow because we're stubborn. We want to walk our own path. Don't realize he's laid out a path for us. All we have to do is walk it. I can understand that very much. Vision Crest Reptiles, thanks for coming through. Main Squeeze Reptiles, you're right. Albino itchy clown is the way to go.
Yeah, definitely.
100% working on that. Oh, look at this! I'm seeing this. This what I like to see in the comments. People subscribing to each other. If you see somebody in the comments, you see they have a channel, go ahead and subscribe to their channel. Definitely do that.
Absolutely.
Definitely love that. Love that. Raw, what's up? Thanks for coming through. So let's hit our last question of the night.
Okay.
And I know there's going to be a picture for this one now, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
What is your dream morph to make?
Okay, so this is a building block of the dream. And you can probably recognize this. I'll try and get it as close as I can.
I'm going to get you on solo.
Okay, hang on. Let me just get this right. Hang on.
There you go.
Hang on.
So that is that is pretty. So that highway. Highway. Could it be? No, it can't be super. I got highway. I don't know what else is in it, but I'm excited to find out.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. It is a highway, and it's only one other gene in there. So this is a
Oh, really?
So it's a pastel highway, is what
that's it.
That's it. Look how beautiful that is. Now, the pastel highway, the highway we know is yellow belly and gravel. And if you want a freeway, you get the yellow belly and asphalt for the freeway.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. So I think so. Yes.
Yeah, both of them are very, very beautiful combinations. But you put pastel, it pops. Okay, and that will fade as it gets older, so it won't hold its color like that. Don't expect that to stay that way for too long. But you're going to have.
Jeremy said he sees leopard. He says he sees leopard in it.
Does he see leopard in that? Okay, so let's have a look at the next picture, because I think that Jeremy actually is on the same wavelength as me, because if he loves leopard too, this is the next building block. Okay, so have a look at this one.
Ooh, I think I seen that snake. Oh, I think I seen that snake. What was it called? Okay, I give up. What is that one?
So that's building off the highway, but it's actually got leopard and orange dream in there as well.
Okay.
So you got leopard orange dream highway, which I think is a gorgeous looking animal. Now we're working towards my dream snake. So the next one, which I think is absolutely stunning,
So leopard, highway, pastel. So that's a Mardi Gras, right?
So a Mardi Gras, I think it's got Enchian as well, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one is literally, this is a super gravel, Orange Dream super gravel. Just that's what it is.
Oh.
Orange Dream super gravel. So I bought a super gravel 2 years ago, and she is up to size, and she is locking right now. And
Nice.
I put a gravel boy to her that's 100% het for clown. And we're going to try and produce some super gravel. Hopefully, there'll be 50% het for clown, but hopefully, if she's a big girl, she's 2.5 kilograms, she might give us a decent clutch. If we get 6 to 8 eggs, there's a chance that at least 2 or 3 of them will be 100% het for clown. We're going to raise him up. Say we get a boy. If we're lucky enough to get a boy, in the next year, we raise up this super gravel 100% het clown.
Mm-hmm.
And we put this to our girl, Bella. Now, Bella is a Orange Dream, leopard, yellow belly, pastel, 100% het clown girl.
Mm. Wait. Say it one more time. Leopard, yellow belly, pastel, 100% het clown.
And Orange Dream. She's got Orange Dream as well.
Orange Dream. Okay.
I mean, she's gorgeous. I mean, I wish unfortunately, my internet's not very strong in the facility. I'd love to take you into the facility and show you these animals. But obviously, she's on my video, so go and check out some of my videos because you'll see her on that. But anyway, if we can put those two together, we can hit a Orange Dream, leopard, highway, clown, with pastel in as well.
Ooh.
And no one's ever produced that. But Jared, my son, this is my son's project. He's showing his vision. But I promise you, if there is an animal that's close to this that we looked at, and boy, was it beautiful. I think it was missing something. What was it missing? It was missing one of those genes. And I think if we can get that extra gene in, it's just going to go. I think it might be missing Orange Dream, but you put Orange Dream to that, honestly. And you put super Orange Dream, and you put a high intensity. Can you imagine what you could get? And if you put super Enchi in there as well, I mean, now we're going down your street, Gershon. Super
Yeah,
Enchi,
you got me right there.
Super Enchi, super Orange Dream, highway clown, and then throw in the pied later. You know, I talked about the pyramid of having your projects laid out to begin with, but eventually you're going to be mixing more and more recessives. So you're going to get triple recessives with all those codoms that you want, with all those beautiful genes. You're going to produce something that's going to be like a $25,000 snake by the time you get there. And you could end up several of those. You could get $100,000 clutch. Now, that's probably about 10 years down the line, but hey, we're on a journey. You won't need more than 10 clutches if you can be hitting that level of intensity.
Exactly. Like, oh wow. Because I know only person. Well, there are probably a lot of people working highway clowns, but the biggest one we all know is. Oh, I just blanked out his name. Mutation Creation, Billy.
Yeah,
he's working that.
Yeah.
But that is still. Oh wow. So let's run it down. Your dream morph you're shooting for is a Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Leopard. No, not Orange Dream, Leopard, Highway, Inchy Clown. Is there something I'm missing there?
Yeah, with pastel in as well. Pastel.
With pastel.
Remember the pastel highway? The baby you saw at the beginning is a pastel highway. He's a building block.
Yep.
So you want pastel in there because pastel and highway go well together. But then you've also got your Enchi and Orange Dream. If you get your super Enchi and your super Orange Dream and you get intense, really good quality, honestly, it will just blow you away. It'll be such a, not a red snake, but it's going to be very bright and it's going to be very beautiful. And then you can bring in the pied version. So you end up with a clown pied. And then my ultra male, if you want to go even more and go for a 4-way recessive, bring in the ultra male because that only goes more orange. Have you seen Orange Dream ultra male? You bring in Ultramel.
I did.
It'll blow people away if they could see a 4-way recessive with all those codoms thrown in, which is a massive order. It's a 20-year project, but I'm here. I'm here for long term anyway. So
well worth it. Dragon Soul Reptiles, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you coming through. We're still working on that YouTube channel, right? We're still working on that. Keys Constrictors, what's up? Thanks for coming through. How was the live? I was on it. I just couldn't talk to you guys, but it was running. It's been running. Yeah,
I'm enjoying their live shows.
They are really good. I got to check out. There was the last one before. I still have to rewatch it, but they're really good. I'm glad they start doing lives.
They've got quality in their collection. I mean, I think we're going to do a live together. In fact, if anyone wants to do a live with me, let me know, please. Either on Instagram via Jared or Facebook via me, or just via my YouTube channel, whichever way you want to contact us. If anybody out there would love to do a live, we're going to launch our live show early in the new year, Gershon. So I've now got the technology, and now I've done 2 with you guys, and I can see that our technology, is it coming through okay your end? Are we getting clear pictures and good volume?
Yeah, you get clear pictures, good volume, looks good, sounds good. So you're definitely ready for lives. And even if it's not the best, you can slowly improve, but getting started is the main point, which you've already announced. We're doing lives in 2022 on New Forest Morphs. They're doing lives, people. Yeah. So definitely hit them up on Instagram. Let them know you would love to be a guest. You're going to have a name for the show for the lives, or are you still working on that?
Yeah, I launched it a year ago, but my technology let me down, and it's called, before Brian Birchard put out his show, my show was called Snake Take.
Okay.
Snake Take. Now, Snake Take is obviously you're taking pictures, you're taking video. Snake Take is also talking about your snakes. You bring your snakes to the show if you want to. We find out about your journey. We find out about some of the issues you're suffering with. We try and help. We try and help each other. We kind of make it, it's going to have a structure, but it's also going to be very loose structure because we're going to follow the force. The force will come in. So what we're going to do is the force will guide us. We don't know how long I'm going to try and do this in such a way that we make sure that the US market and the Canadian market are not going to have to get up at ridiculous hours to join me, because we'll do it on a weekend, maybe a Saturday or Sunday. And if I've got 7 hours ahead of you guys, I'll burn the candle probably from about, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 in the evening till midnight. I'm happy to go to bed at midnight, not a problem. But you guys will be up probably 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever, in the afternoon. You've done your shopping in the Saturday morning, or you've done your Sunday worship if you go to church, whatever you do. But then look forward to an evening with me, and together we'll enjoy the variety of characters out there. You're inspiring me to do this, Gershon, honestly. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this, I promise you, because I think if I can get enough interest, enough people coming on board, and we can do a weekly show, that would be ideal. But the key is I'm willing to do it. I've just got to be able to connect with the communities that are up for this, because I've got 1,000 subscribers, which means my subscribers will jump onto your channels. If we can build up that rapport and friendship, they'll jump on, and we'll be able to jump on each other's channel. Honestly, we can take 1,000 subscribers to 5,000 in a couple of years easily. If we stay focused and we support each other as small-time breeders, we're going to start to be able to compete with the bigger breeders, because strength in numbers. Remember, the grassroots is from us upwards. In other words, the small-time breeders will make the big-time breeders more successful. They're feeding down to us, but we can feed to them, because we're going to get stronger. We're going to get better collections. We're going to be moving forward with more purchasing power. We're going to start to want to tap into each other's resources, and we're going to want to invest the extra cash that we're making to get higher-end genes, and we're going to be hitting some amazing animals, and we'll do it together, and we'll rejoice in each other's successes, and we'll help each other through our struggles. We'll embrace the new people coming in, is my vision, because new people will be feeling comfortable in an environment where people love each other. Because the key to successful business, in my Gershon, is what you do, and that's why you're going to be so successful. You love people beyond, you don't judge people, you love people, and you don't, when you're deciding who to have on the show, I don't think you necessarily make any judgment calls. You basically say, there's someone that's starting off that needs some help. I'm going to go and reach out. That's what I like about your show. You are an amazing guy, and I love you very much. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So you already got 2 people in the comments ready to come on live. You got Jeremy and Celtic Balls. So definitely reach out to Paul.
Thank you, guys.
He's very excited. I'm excited to see this happen.
Yeah.
I love people branching out, trying new things, getting deeper into the community. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say we're gonna put a date on this when this show is gonna start, but January. Keep your eyes peeled for Paul's live, what he will be doing on his channel. So definitely make sure you go subscribe to his YouTube channel, New Force Morphs. Go subscribe. Go make sure you follow his Instagram so you keep updated on when this live is coming, so you know when the schedule is. He's 7 hours time difference for most of us, but he's trying to work on and make sure it's a day that we'll be awake and we can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
So definitely go check that out. Before we go head out, let's say thanks to my sponsor for this episode one more time. I gotta click the button. There we go. So this episode is sponsored by Essential Royals. They're a ball python breeder. This is their second year breeding ball pythons. Had a great first year. It's a father and two sons breeding ball pythons. Go check out their Instagram. We're working on getting them a YouTube channel. We're definitely going to push them to that. But definitely go check out their Instagram. Thanks again for sponsoring this episode. Thank you again for sponsoring. Greatly appreciated. And as Key says, I am going to be on his show. That's not the day. That was the day he was on my show. But I am going to be on Keys Constrictors Live. Keys, put it in I forgot what day it is. I think it's like the 5th of January. Yes, the 5th of January. So make sure you go check us out there. What do you think about this, Philip, Paul? The Morph Market not for sale section. I didn't even know they were doing that.
Wow, that's cool. So
I don't want to see animals I can't buy. That makes it difficult. I want to see animals I can buy, not the stuff you made that I can't buy. That's what Instagram is for. Oh, also go hit subscribe button on Keys Constrictors. They're so close to 500. They've been doing their thing too. The way they've been promoting their channel, the live they started, the videos they've been putting out. Awesome people. Go check them out. Husband and wife team, which I love that aspect of. Have teammates. I love that. If my wife would like snakes and take care of them and feed, that would be great. But she says that's your thing. You go do it. So just a husband team over here. But yeah, go check them out. Great people. Amazing animals and amazing content. Definitely check that out. Later, Philip. I've gotten on one Friday. Oh, okay. Same. I'm trying to see make sure nobody said anything in the comments before we head out. So get self-investment, Jeremy. Yep, that's positive. Okay. The 5th. Yeah, he said the 5th. So the 5th in January. But this is actually the last episode of season 1 of Under 1,000 Pod. Paul, thank you for being on it. Thank you for closing this out.
Thank you, Gershon. Thank you. It's been a pleasure for me, and thank you for closing out the show with me. So I appreciate it.
I wouldn't have it any other way. My first UK guest. I couldn't talk. So now I'm going global. Next up.
Yeah. And it'd be lovely if you could come on my show when I launch it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'd love you to come on my show and introduce.
Give me some dates and I'm there.
Well, why not go? We've got 4 weeks in January. I've already got 2 or 3 people that are lined up wanting to join. So maybe you could be the 4th. We've got the whole of January already sorted. We'll do this fun a day.
Oh, sounds good. Just let me know and I'll definitely pencil you in and be on the calendar ready to go.
Okay, let's do it.
Definitely. So we're closing out season 1, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support on this season. This live that I started at a whim, it's become something so amazing that I didn't think it was going to happen. And it's becoming its own thing, which I love, and I see it naturally growing. And I greatly appreciate you guys supporting it and giving me ideas. Even though you don't think you're giving me ideas, just being in the comments, sometimes I listen to what you guys say and I use some of that. So I greatly appreciate it. Just the lightsabers. Just so you know, we're gonna start out season 2 next week, and for season 2, first show, boom, we're bringing all the ladies back from season 1. We're gonna talk to them. Definitely be there. I think this is gonna be fun. We got mostly everybody's coming. There's only like 1 or 2 people that recorded this stuff early, but definitely check that out. Next Friday, I think it's the 9th. I should have known the date. See, I'm trying to promote myself more often, and I totally forgot. So it's the 7th, on January 7th. We're gonna do season 1 live with all the ladies from season 1. That's gonna be fun. Definitely come check us out. Paul's got the lightsaber going, Jedi Master. Oh, so definitely come check that out. But guys, thank you so much for all the support, the love, the encouraging words. Even though it's hard for me to take encouragement and compliments, but thank you for going on this journey with me, and grateful you guys continue going on with me in season 2. Oh wow.
All
right, guys.
With you, Gershon, and may the force be with everyone for 2022. May you have success in all your breeding, with your families, with your friendships. Thank you so much, Gershon, for allowing me to be on your show. It's a real privilege for me to do this, and sending you lots of love from New Forest Morphs.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for the support. Make sure you guys go subscribe to New Forest Morphs. Their YouTube, their Instagram, and they're talking about doing TikTok, so look out for that. Thanks everybody for all the love and support. And I forgot to put meal time out last week, so I'm gonna put it up this Saturday. But I also got another grow out video coming out Thursday, which is tomorrow. So maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. But until next time, guys, hope you guys have a happy New Year's. Hopefully 2022 is your year. Positive things happen. Share the love. Meet somebody new. And thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you, Gershon.